Hello students. Today, we are going to explore a poem called The Flea by John Donne. John Donne was an English poet who lived a long time ago, from 1572 to 1631. He is famous for writing metaphysical poems. The Flea is one of his most well-known works. John Donne wrote The Flea to talk about love, but he does it in a very unusual way. He uses a tiny insect, a flea, to make his point. This video covers analysis of The Flea by John Donne. In this poem, a man is speaking to a woman. He loves her and wants her to love him back. She does not want to. The man sees a flea that has bitten both of them. He says this flea has mixed their blood together. He uses this idea to convince her that they are already connected. He thinks this should make her say yes to him. The poem has 3 stanzas. Each stanza has 9 lines. In each stanza, the man builds his argument. Later, the woman kills the flea. John Donne lived in England in the late 1500s and early 1600s. This was a time called the Renaissance. People loved new ideas and clever words. Donne was part of a group called the metaphysical poets. They used strange ideas in their poems, and The Flea is a good example of it. People then also cared about religion and honor. The speaker talks about sin and maidenhead because those were big worries. Explanation with analysis of The Flea by John Donne. Mark but this flea, and mark in this. The speaker is talking to the woman. The word mark means look at or notice. He says, look at this flea. He repeats it twice to get her attention. He wants her to focus on the flea. This is important because the flea is the main idea in the poem. The speaker is not just talking about an insect but using it as a symbol. A symbol is something small that stands for something big. The flea stands for the connection between the man and the woman. How little that which thou deniest me is. The word thou is an old way of saying you. Deniest means a refuse. The man is asking the woman for something but she is refusing. It sucked me first, and now sucks thee. This is about the flea. The flea bit the man first and then the woman. The is another old word for you. The flea has taken blood from both of them. And in this flea are 2 bloods mingled be. This means the flea now has both their blood inside it. Mingled means mixed together. The mixing of blood symbolizes that 2 people are very close. It is almost like they are one person. This is the heart of his argument. He wants the woman to see they are already connected. Thou knowst that this cannot be said a sin, nor shame, nor loss of maidenhead. Thou knowst means you know. He is telling her she understands something. He says mixing blood in the flea is neither a sin nor a shame. It is also not loss of maidenhead. Maidenhead means virginity. In the past, virginity was very important for women before marriage. The man says the flea mixing their blood does not hurt her honor. Yet this enjoys before it woo, and pampered swells with one blood made of 2, and this, alas, is more than we would do. Yet this enjoys before it woo means the flea gets pleasure without asking. Woo means to try to win someone's love. The flea does not need to ask. It just bites and takes blood. And pampered swells with one blood made of 2 means the flea grows big. The flea has both their blood, so it is happy. And this, alas, is more than we would do means the flea does more than they do. Alas shows sadness. The man is sad because he and the woman are not as close as the flea is to their blood. Let us summarize this first stanza. The speaker points to a flea. He says it bit him and the woman. Their blood is mixed inside it. He argues this is not a sin or a loss. He says the flea enjoys their blood more than they enjoy each other. He wants the woman to see they should be closer too. This stanza shows the use of conceit. A conceit is an unusual comparison in poetry. The flea is compared to love and closeness. The theme here is persuasion. A theme is the main idea of a poem. The man tries to convince the woman. Another theme is love as the man wants her love. The structure is 9 lines with a rhyme. The rhyme is when words sound the same, like the and be. This makes the poem sound nice. Now, let us move to the second stanza. Oh stay, 3 lives in 1 flea spare. The man speaks again. He is asking the woman to pause. 3 lives in 1 flea spare means do not kill the flea. He says the flea has 3 lives, his blood, her blood, and the flea's own life. He does not want her to crush it. Where we almost, nay more than married are. This means they are almost married. He says they are more than married because of the flea. Their blood is together in it. He thinks this is like a wedding. This flea is you and I, and this our marriage bed, and marriage temple is. He says the flea is both of them. He calls it their marriage bed and marriage temple. This is another conceit. The tiny flea becomes something huge and special. Though parents grudge, and you, are met. Parents grudge means her parents do not approve. He says they are together in the flea, even if her parents disagree. And cloistered in these living walls of jet. Cloistered means enclosed. Living walls of jet means the flea's black body. The flea is alive and holds their blood. He says they are safe inside it. Though use make you apt to kill me, let not to that, self-murder added be, and sacrilege, 3 sins in killing 3. Though use make you apt to kill me, it means her habit might make her want to hurt him. It means the habit of the woman to often say no to him. Let not to that, self-murder added be, it means do not kill yourself too. The speaker says if she kills the flea, she kills him and herself because their blood is in it. And sacrilege, 3 sins in killing 3, means it is a religious wrong. Sacrilege is a sin against something holy. He says killing the flea is 3 sins, killing him, her, and the flea. Let us summarize this stanza. The man begs the woman not to kill the flea. He says it holds 3 lives. He calls it their marriage bed and temple. He says they are united in it, even if her parents do not like it. He warns her that killing the flea is a big sin. The theme in this stanza is still love and persuasion. The speaker makes the flea even bigger. It is now a symbol of marriage. The conceit continues. The literary device here is hyperbole, which is exaggeration. For example, the flea is called a temple. The structure is still 9 lines with rhyme, like spare and are. The background shows Donne's time. Marriage and religion were serious. He uses those ideas to make his poem strong. Cruel and sudden, hast thou since purpled thy nail, in blood of innocence? This stanza shows something happened. Cruel and sudden shows the woman acted fast and harshly. Purpled thy nail means her fingernail is purple with blood. It shows that the woman has killed the flea. In blood of innocence means the flea was not guilty even though she was killed. The speaker is upset. Wherein could this flea guilty be, except in that drop which it sucked from thee? Each speaker asks the question, how was the flea wrong? He says the flea only took a tiny drop of her blood. It did not deserve to die. Yet thou triumphst, and say'st that thou find'st not thyself, nor me the weaker now. Thou triumphst means you win. She feels strong because she killed the flea. She says that killing the flea did not hurt them. 'Tis true, then learn how false fears be, just so much honor, when thou yieldst to me, will waste, as this flea's death took life from thee. 'Tis true means it is true. The speaker agrees with her as killing the flea did not make them weaker. Then learn how false fears be means her worries are not real. Just so much honor, when thou yields to me, will waste means giving in to him will not ruin her honor. As this flea's death took life from thee, means the flea's death did not take much from her. He says loving him is the same and it is not a big loss. Let us summarize this stanza. The woman kills the flea. The man asks why she did it. She says it did not harm them and he agrees. The woman means that her fears about him are wrong and loving the man would not hurt her honor. In this stanza, the theme is still persuasion. The man twists the situation. The flea's death becomes his new argument. The symbol of the flea changes. Now it shows fears are small. The literary device is irony. Irony is when something unexpected happens. She kills the flea, but it helps his point. The structure is 9 lines with rhyme, like the and be. The background ties to honor. In Donne's time, women worried about losing honor. The poet plays with that idea. The poem is about a man who loves a woman. However, she says no. He uses a flea to argue. It bites them both. He says their blood is mixed, so they are close. She kills the flea. He says this proves her fears are wrong. He wants her to love him. The analysis of The Flea by John Donne shows Donne's cleverness. He uses the flea as a conceit. The themes are love, persuasion, and honor. Love drives him. Persuasion is his tool. Honor is her worry. The symbol is the flea. It means union, marriage, and small fears. Literary devices are conceit, hyperbole, and irony. The structure is 3 stanzas, 9 lines each, with rhyme. Thank you for watching this video on analysis of The Flea by John Donne.